Всем привет. Не знаю, насколько хорошо слышно вообще. Решил продолжить дома. Игра отличная, но она у меня в прошлый раз вылетела. Маш, не надо драть. Я тебя очень прошу, Маш. Это нельзя драть. Сука, это что такое? Маша, нельзя драть. Нельзя. Драть не надо, нельзя. Игра у меня вылетела, из-за этого я в последнее время, если игра вылетает, все всегда обидно становится. Играть не хочется. Но игра отличная. Блять, такая нельзя. Кисонька.
Bukowski. Phelps. Back again. We're here about the morphine. Over by the bandstand. You can see what's left of the owner, Eddie McGoldrick. 26, former Marine.
I know Eddie McGoldrick. He was a non-com in my old unit.
I'm sorry to hear that, Cole. Waitress said he recently came into some money and bought the club.
Who are the other Vics?
Two musicians, Biddleston and Bo. And get this, they used to be in a four-piece, but the trombone player and the drummer OD'd.
Don't tell me. Lamont and Tyree? We've met the rest of the band.
Now they're a no-piece.
Do you mind if we take a look around?
Be my guest. You might want a word with the hostess, too. I'll keep her company until you're ready.
Must have pumped a dozen rounds into him. Certainly sends a message.
When you're ready to have a civil conversation, we can try again.
Блять, вот это странный тупик. В конце концов, это бар, а не свалка. А бутылки как со свалки.
Let me through. I just want a quick look is all.
Find anything interesting?
Well-maintained, custom case. Someone cared for this instrument. What's that click?
Catch all the good ones, Phelps.
Neat trick. The case must have cost more than the trumpet. We should follow up on the musician angle. He kept his stash close at hand.
Музыканты веселились, музыканты
Army surplus again. McGoldrick must have been moving contraband through the club. Dozen packs to a carton, 100 cartons or more. Looks like a couple of months' supply.
I'm stumped. Ideas?
Find out what's going on from the Bulls and homicide. I'll look around.
Давай, давай, смотри. Винтовочки, ничего.
These look brand new. Never fired. They haven't been degreased yet. We could check on the serial numbers.
Is this guy hunting for bear? Look at these things.
They're BARs. You get the odd guy who sneaks one of them home from the war. How did he get 3 of them? We have a new source, or is this coming from what's left in circulation? Army surplus morphine, Army surplus weapons, Army surplus valors. Sound familiar?
We should get back to the station and check the details of what exactly was lifted from that ship.
Сосрали сцену просто. Почему-то присматриваться.
Never the same, are they?
Что ты хочешь от хозяйки?
Ma'am, I'm Detective Phelps, Administrative Vice Squad.
Welcome to the 111 Club, Detective. Feels like I've had half the LAPD in here today already.
Старший офицер, как написано страшный офицер.
Any idea who did the shooting?
No idea. It was my day off. If I had been here, honey, I'd be full of holes just like the others.
You want to level with me, miss, before we start taking an interest in you?
This place has been on the slide for years. Eddie turns up, buys the club, then we start getting visits from tough guys. Next thing you know, we have the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Are you getting the picture?
Tell us about Eddie.
Eddie didn't know a thing about running a nightclub. He came into some money and waltzed in and bought the place. The previous owner thought all his Christmases had come at once.
Where do you think he got the money?
My guess was that he was selling the sort of quality product that you don't need to advertise.
Thank you for your help, ma'am.
Eddie was in over his head, but he was a decent boss.
У меня еще скоро в 20 наливал. Так, кто, блядь, это вот эти? Где мне его найти, блядь? Так, надо на парня подойти. Сказать, стам.
Any ideas?
Back to the station. We need to speak to someone on the robbery detail.
Ладно, с мужиком тут блядь.
Take a look around, Phelps. Looks like a straightforward execution to me.
Знакомое еблище-то, ребят.
Bad luck, Eddie. Okinawa couldn't kill you, but knowing the wrong people in this city...
Чувак из моих глючных воспоминаний. Бляха-муха, это он, сука. Да прям вот, смотрите, еблишка-то то. Явно парень не это самое. Какой-то вот пальцы, смотрите, где большой палец, где указательный палец, на кого-то график такой странный. Что-то, блядь, здесь не то. В других штанах не гипсом. Вообще не понял, что полезно ты мне, блядь, не оставил. После засилия. Что ж ты за человек? Все какие-то на эти. Фу.
They didn't even try to crack the safe.
Звонят сейф, они не пытались, а сейф пол открыт. Не надо.
This town is going straight to hell.
What now?
I knew it wasn't safe around here anymore.
If you're done, I gotta close this place up and notify staff.
Так, это, блядь, что такое?
Cops. Gotta be something
Show's
big, right?
over. Keep moving, all of you.
Нахуй отсюда.
This is a secure area. You all need to leave.
Оцепленный, блядь, зон. Слушай, что такие тупые.
Clear this area immediately.
Спасибо. Давай,
He's just
персонально
looking
лучше
for a
сказать.
policeman.
О, блядь, еще, сучок. И нет.
Fear makes you see double, makes you feel single.
This is a crime scene. All of you move along.
Да, мне, блядь, свои там.
Show's over. Keep moving, all of you. I'm at a loss.
Back to the station. We need to speak to someone on the robbery detail.
See him? I saw his picture in the
Не,
paper.
машину вроде не надо.
He worked that case with the lady that got cut up, like the dolly.
How well did you know the owner?
Goldrick? Well enough. He was in my unit.
That's some cruel irony. You survive the war, then get blown to pieces back home.
It happens more than you'd think. Young guys trying to adjust to normal life, getting mixed up in the wrong crowds.
The kid had just bought a nightclub. I'd say he got mixed up in the right crowds.
Until someone filled him full of holes.
You don't come into that kind of money that quickly without pissing a few people off.
Нихуя себе, сколько здесь этих телепортов.
What's going on?
That fucking rat Stoker has gone public about Brenda.
Who is Brenda?
Brenda is LA's most famous madam.
And everyone knows it?
Of course everyone knows. Brenda pays her way.
Are we cops or a collection agency?
Whores have been around since the Bible. Our job is to keep it off the street so Joe Citizen and his wife can stroll around unmolested.
Then we should change the law.
Are you out of your mind? Every politician in America is against prostitution, except when they're using them.
So where does Stoker come in?
He objects to the LAPD and the administration taking its cut.
Is everyone in on this?
Yeah, and that's the problem. From a little acorn does a large tree grow. He could bring the whole thing crashing down on us.
Aren't you supposed to be working
Sir, do you know which robbery detectives are working the Army surplus theft from the Coolidge?
Caldwell and McManus? I saw Caldwell in the squad room not long ago if you want to speak to him.
Thank you, sir. We'll do that.
This way.
I want to make comments now. You know you know it.
Jay, do you fellas need to stick around much longer?
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Harry, you got a minute?
Sure, Cole, anytime.
You've been working the docks robbery on the SS Coolidge?
Yeah, that's right.
So how do you see it?
Inside job. Either the guys working the wharves or some of the guys on the ship.
What else was taken apart from the morphine?
Case of BARs, case of Thompsons, crate of Valor smokes.
Homicide just recovered 3 BARs and a mountain of cigarettes at a shooting at the 111 Club.
No kidding. I better get over there.
Do you have a copy of the manifest?
Yeah. Here it is.
So, how do we connect the docks robbery to the mess at the 111 Club?
I want to make homicide. You know you made it if you can get that desk.
That bum took a swipe at me, so I put him down with my sap.
Mouthpiece store stripped off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants...
Enough to arm 3 companies. This is the crate we recovered.
Parker or Green?
500,000 cigarettes loose on the streets of LA.
You think those Vice boys get any on the side?
Parker or Green? I don't know who'd be worse.
Here's our backroom arsenal from the 111 Club. Some of these guys are from my old unit. They must have finally shipped home. Kelso, Sheldon, McGoldrick.
McGoldrick was on the boat?
Sure, we checked him out.
McGoldrick bought the 111 Club, Harry. His brains are all over the bar. Looks like whoever stole the dope is getting muscled.
By whom?
Dragner or Cohen. They control the hop.
Thanks, Harry. Stay in touch on this.
Yeah, I want to make homicide. You know you've got it made if you can get to that desk.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence. Why don't you go polish your war medal and leave me alone?
Sorry, I just got a tip off. I'm about to roll out.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
Were you at home last Saturday? This is your automobile, correct? When you take long, I have responsibility. No way, nope. Isn't there anything else you can do?
Mouthpiece tore stripped off me at the grand jury. Case was thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
You think the Vice boys get any on the side?
I know, yeah. I got the track. Is that so wrong? When I posted that, I ain't talking to you. I got the job.
If you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I have other cases.
I say we bust in there and find the guy.
What do you think? Advice?
All these junkies seem to get a free pass to the Blue Room. How about we pay a visit?
You trying to take me down? No, sorry.
I got this gadget whiz guy putting recording devices at the place for me.
You been to my house? That's correct.
I didn't want to arrest the kid, so I gave him a dusting he wouldn't forget.
淨係飯桶先戒煙嘅咋。
My wife is so dumb, she stares at orange juice for hours. Well, it does say concentrate on the cartons.
Take the next left turn. So, half your old lackeys were on that boat, the late Mr. Goldrick included.
They weren't my lackeys.
Subordinates then, whatever you want to call them.
There were a lot of people on that boat.
Maybe you're behind this whole thing, Phelps. Wouldn't that be a master stroke? Hey, cut me in early and we'll ride this one into the sunset.
Sounds like you've got the case all sewn up, Roy. We should call it a day and go home.
And miss out on the blue room? I couldn't do that to you.
Straight through the next intersection.
Straight over. It's the next right.
Bowl of that chili?
Get the facts first. You can distort them later.
Excuse me. I've got to sort through some unclaimed items right now.
Take a break, boys.
We would like them to stay, Miss Lickman. We're making inquiries into the recent deaths of 4 musicians.
Since when have the police cared about dead black men?
Good point. We don't. What we care about is 2 tons of Army surplus morphine showing up on the street. If you care about working in this town, you better give me something on Biddleston and Bow, or their knucklehead buddies Tyree and Lamont.
And this is your idea of making inquiries under Sturmführer?
I've told you 1,000 times about speaking that German gibberish at me, Elsa.
Roy! How about you get a drink while I see to this?
Will you sit down?
Why antagonize him, Elsa? You know what he's capable of.
Ask your questions, Head Officer. We have work to do.
People are dying of overdoses. If you know anything about it, you need to tell me.
I can't help you.
A lot of cats are into the thing. There's nothing special about your boys.
Господи, придется, блин.
Hopheads appear to get a free pass at this club. You all know about the morphine.
And how do you expect to prove that?
Блять, вот тут, опять же, что я должен, как улику, показать? Пропуск того, что был у жертвы? Или же морфин?
I have a rehearsal to finish. It's time for you to leave.
Блять. Вот надо было, значит, пропуск показывать. Вот хуй его знает, что надо как улику показать. Потому что я не совсем понимаю суть разговора.
My partner mentioned a couple of names. You recognize them?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't believe you. You knew these men.
And how would you like to prove that, detective? You're out of your depths here, detective, and you're asking the wrong questions of the wrong people. Boys, take 5 minutes, please. I need to have a private word with the officer. Why do you ask people to risk talking about a subject that could have them jailed?
Drugs are against the law, Elsa.
You're so full of courage, you have never felt ashamed.
This is getting us nowhere.
Do you think you'll win your war against narcotics?
It's not my war. It's against the law. My job is to prosecute the laws of this city.
Do you think you can stop people from needing drugs, detective?
I'm asking the questions here.
Then why do you come to me with your stupid questions? You know who controls the drugs in this city.
It's not enough to just survive, Elsa. You have to try and make the world a better place.
Brave words and very noble. But words are just words, Cole Phelps.
She's right. We need to pay a visit to the Mixter.
Cohen? Do you know where to find him?
This time of day? You'll find him holding court at the Macambo.
He can wait. There's something I need to be sure of. Give me till tomorrow morning.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, partner.
А можно, кстати, как-то перезагрузить этот момент последний. Видите, прошлый минут. Охуеть, я нажал на паузу, игра вылетела, сука, сука! Второй раз уже что-то, блядь, то ли с игрой не то ли с моим компьютером. Сука, я всего лишь нажал Escape во время заставки, ну за что так? Что? Escape во время заставки, это же, блядь, броня. Escape, сука, во время заставки. Наверное, все-таки с компом что-то не то. Это из-за того, что я там нахуячился с разгоном. Дверь открыта. Настя, как блядь, это самое. Полный пиздец. Ненавижу, когда игры было приемлемо давно, когда еще можно было нажать, сохраниться быстро, потом быстро загрузиться, да? Можно было, блядь, делать, сука, бесконечно. Но сейчас уже не то время, как бы. Может быть, мне повезет, даже в каком-то смысле, и будет загрузка в клубе, но вряд ли. А может и...
Something funny about the clam chowder.
Three blondes walk into a bar. You'd think one of them would have seen it.
I check coats. That's all I get paid to do.
Нихуя ты не понимаешь. У меня нет пальто.
Take a break, boys.
We would like them to stay, Miss Lickman. We're making inquiries into the recent deaths of 4 musicians.
Since when have the police cared about dead black men?
Good point. We don't. What we care about is 2 tons of Army surplus morphine showing up on the street. If you care about working in this town, you better give me something on Biddleston and Bow, or their knucklehead buddies Tyree and Lamont.
And this is your idea of making inquiries, Understundenführer?
I've told you 1,000 times about speaking that German gibberish at me, Elsa.
Roy! How about you get a drink while I see to this?
Will you sit down?
Why antagonize him, Elsa? You know what he's capable of.
Ask your questions, head officer. We have work to do.
Так, ладно, попытаемся.
People are dying of overdoses. If you know anything about it, you need to tell me.
I can't help you.
A lot of cats are into the thing. There's nothing special about your boys.
Hopheads appear to get a free pass at this club. You all know about the morphine.
And how do you expect to prove that?
Ну, если это не поможет, я не знаю.
I have a rehearsal to finish. It's time for you to leave.
Ты сука ебаная. Ладно.
My partner mentioned a couple of names. You recognize them?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The only way you're going to get rid of me is to give me an answer.
I knew Cornell. We worked together a few years ago. He loved the music, but the music didn't love him.
What does that mean?
It means that he just wasn't that good. He was a sad, lonely cat.
Boys, take 5 minutes, please. I need to have a private word with the officer. Why do you ask people to risk talking about a subject that could have them jailed?
Drugs are against the law, Elsa.
And you're so full of courage, you have never felt ashamed.
This is getting us nowhere.
Do you think you'll win your war against narcotics?
It's not my war. It's against the law. My job is to prosecute the laws of this city.
Do you think you can stop people from needing drugs, detective?
I'm asking the questions here.
Then why do you come to me with your stupid questions? You know who controls the drugs in this city.
It's not enough to just survive, Elsa. You have to try and make the world a better place.
Brave words, and very noble. But words are just words, Cole Phelps.
She's right. We need to pay a visit to the mixer.
Cohen? Do you know where to find him?
This time of day? You'll find him holding court at the Macambo.
He can wait. There's something I need to be sure of. Give me till tomorrow morning.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, partner.
Ну, вспомни напарника, боже, как мем. Что, следует, что ли? И типа...
Just a scratch.
You nearly killed me.
Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
America is the lucky
Фонтанчик.
LAPD, we're looking for Mayor Cohen. I believe he has lunch here.
There's not going to be any trouble, is there?
Which table?
Number 3, if you'll follow me.
I'm going up to the lakes to watch the races on Saturday.
So what next?
Mickey has
Sirs,
been questioned 1,000
Mr.
times.
Cohen's table
See if
is
you can
this
do any
way.
better.
Food wasn't great, but you're real nice.
I'm at a loss.
Food wasn't great, but you're real nice.
What do you think?
Sirs, Mr. Cohen's table is this way.
I'm going up to the lakes to watch the races on Saturday.
She wants a 5-star goddamn wedding.
Sirs,
Cook, these were some good
Mr.
looks.
Cohen's table is this way.
That's one heck of a Sunday.
LAPD. We have some questions
Hi,
regarding...
Mickey. How's it hanging?
Fine. Just fine, Roy. I see you brought Gigabyte along. Hope he's not going to put the shakes on me again.
Cole Phelps, Mickey Cohen.
Good afternoon.
He has manners. Aren't you a little green for this kid?
Meet Johnny Stompanato, Cole. He has the biggest schlong in Hollywood and the smallest gun. Or maybe that's the other way around. I can never quite remember.
You're a funny guy, Roy. Haven't I always said what a funny guy Roy is? And how much fun it would be to get together with him sometime.
Poor Johnny. He's the dark, sensitive type. He's a serviceman too, Cole. Johnny was at Okinawa.
You were in the crotch?
6th Marines.
The lieutenant who won the Silver Star up on Sugarloaf. I've heard of you.
Something like that.
All right, have we finished flirting? You got something to discuss, Roy, or are you going to stand around beating the meat while my lunch gets cold?
We have some questions.
Do I need my lawyer?
Your brother-in-law, Lenny Finkelstein, was selling stolen morphine. He had 1/3 of the shipment.
Old news, kid. I don't know anything about what Lenny was up to.
Блядь.
Jack Dragna has you on the run. You're muscling the guys who stole the morphine from the ship.
You calling me a liar, kid? You think you can prove that in court? Huh?
Блядь.
Nice try, kid. But you're gonna have to do a lot better than that.
We believe there's a link between a group of Marines and the morphine stolen from the SS Coolidge. One of those Marines was shot to death in a club last night.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Сука, врет.
So you haven't heard anything about what happened at the 111 Club?
What can I say, kid? I'm shocked that in the land of opportunity, Uncle Sam's finest feel the need to resort to crime. It's a dangerous business. I can attest to that. I'd recommend they get out of the life. Quickly.
A few Negroes saying goodbye on the sidewalk will never make the papers, Mickey. But we had a judge in Pasadena say adios the other day. Prominent white people popping their clogs makes everyone nervous.
You know dope has never been my thing, Roy. It's always been for schmendricks like Jack D and Jimmy Utley. But I'll ask around and I'll get back to you. Hey, you boys want some lunch? How about a drink?
We'll take a rain check on that. Come on, Cole, we're leaving.
We have to cut that dope. It looks bad with people dying.
We have to get the rest of it. There's no way of watering down the stuff in those little packages. We have to put the squeeze on those guys and get the rest of it.
They don't seem the type to frighten that easy.
We'll see.
Detectives, KGPL's going crazy. Shots fired at 1384 North Bronson. Some guy with an automatic spraying a Hollywood bus. They want every car. Go!
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence. Hey, you think those Vice boys get any on the dollar? Did you know Malky first stripped off me at the grand jury? Ain't he thrown out?